Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, it looks like things are finally looking good for Akiho's fortunes. Not only was she able, with Subaru's help, to pay off her debt to Doc Fujita, but it looks like Sumio's sponsorship has finally come through, along with some much needed equipment, batteries, and other bits and pieces necessary to get the long-awaited completion of Gunbuild 1 that much closer to reality. The only things that she needs left are the custom-made servo motors, but that's, yeah. At this point, it looks like Gunbuild 1 will ultimately be going to the expo eventually. I say that because Sumio had some conditions of his own. Firstly, since he is the sponsor, he wants Akiho to stick giant space company stickers all over gun barrel, which she is not too happy with. But then again, Sumio is the one sponsoring this effort, so there's that. And the other proviso is that Juna, not Kaito, is the one who ultimately pilots Gunbuild 1. A proposition that Kaito is only far too eager to pass off, and Juna is completely and absolutely terrified. But as one Sonomia's fortunes rise, another Sonomia's fortunes fall, because there have been more issues with the HUG exoskeleton devices. And it looks like XCO has been not entirely truthful in regards to customer information. Ultimately, the brunt of this shitstorm has pretty much been heaped on Misaka herself, since she is the person in charge of public relations over at the exoskeleton company. Yeah. So things are not looking good in Tokyo right now. But anyway, yeah. For Akiho, things couldn't be better. As soon as all the cargo was unloaded from the truck, the Space Candy Company president left like a passing storm.
おじきは人使いが荒いな。
Well, to be fair, this is the most useful, if not the only useful thing that you've done for the Robotics Club, Michi. Michi was left behind. He's tidily complaining while sipping from a small carton of milk.
いいかお前ら、身内はとことん利用しろって話があるだろう。あれは嘘だ。
If you consider that a pro tip, Michi, we kind of beat you to the punch because we've learned our lesson with Doc Fujita in trying to use Jenna in order to get a discount, which was bound to fail. But fortunately, we avoided that.
正しくはこうだ。身内を利用すると利用されることも増える。わかったか？これ豆知識だからな。覚えとけ。
Should a teacher really be saying that to his students?
じゃあ、俺は帰る。あとは任せた。
And like that, he ditches. Yeah. Yeah, he is definitely 99.95% useless.
ミッチ
顧問として監督する気ゼロだな。
Yeah. Or advising us. His advice is usually terrible.
ミッチーはあれぐらいでちょうどいいって。あんまり踏み込んでこられても扱いに困るし。
You're probably right. Although, if he were actually decently useful, it would do to have his help. But the way he is right now, we're probably better for completing Gun Build 1. Considering he's the OG president, you'd think we'd respect him more. How is the gap so huge between him and Mizune? Yet another mystery of just why Michi was chosen to head up the Robotics Club to begin with. Yeah, dealing with Sumio's overwhelming personality can be more than anyone can bear. As soon as Michi leaves, Juno weakly sinks to the floor.
私、あの社長さん、ちょっとだけ苦手。体すくんじゃうっていうか。
Yeah, he certainly has an excess of personality, among other things.
押しが強い人だから。
クマさんみたいに大きいから。
Yeah. I wouldn't so much call him pushy as boisterous myself. I guess life-size robots aren't the only issue. Maybe she can't handle things that are slightly bigger than humans. But if we're going to keep that guy on as a sponsor, we're going to have to keep sucking up to him and using Juna. Much to Akiho's disappointment. As though trading places with Michi, Subaru appears. Again, taking a huge risk.
パーツ届いたんですね。
Indeed they have. You are, of course, by no means obligated to help us, given your
遅刻だよ。
stances. Subaru shrugs and ignores Akiho's comment. He doesn't seem to care at all. He takes a peek inside the garage and then turns back around and faces us.
太陽嵐でやられていないかどうか念のために調べた方がいいんじゃないですか。
太陽嵐がどうかした？あ、ツイポで今話題になってるよね。
Is it now? I should probably check that out. Okay, this is a notification from Sumio. Hello from Space Candy. Space Candy now sponsors Chu Tanegashima High Robotics Club. Today, for the first time, I saw parts with a giant robot, and it really is big. As sketchy as a sponsor as Sumio is, part of me can't help but relish the fact that somewhere out there, Vice Principal Usui is probably gnashing her teeth in frustration, or pulling out her hair, or both. No new developments. I can't remember anything about a solar storm being recent.
太陽嵐が到達して、 アメリカの西海岸で機械が壊れたとかなんとか。
Oh, so they were referring to the one that took place in America. Alright.
そうなの？もしかして15年クラッシュみたいになるのかな？
I should certainly hope not.
そこまではまだ。あくまで小規模なものらしいですから。
So there's no indication of any physical damage.
でも機械が壊れたせいでね、暴動起きてるらしいよ。機械が壊れただけでなんで暴動が起きるの？
Yeah, depends on how useful those machines are, Akiho. My money would be on the fact that they're very useful.
セキュリティが死ぬからね。泥棒にしてみれば夢の時間ってわけだ。
Very unfortunate.
っていうか、西海岸ってことはベガスもやばいんじゃない？
Could be. Las Vegas is several hundred kilometers inland from Los Angeles. The Robo One World Championships are scheduled to be held there. Yeah. Alas, poor Subaru.
世界大会はこのままだと中止になるかもしれないって噂ですよ。
Well, I was about to say that we might have dodged a bullet there, but considering what's happened, I don't think any bullet has been dodged.
太陽嵐はもうしばらく続くらしいんで。
続くの？
I don't think so.
この後もっと強いのが来るかもしれないって偉い先生がコメントしてたよ。
As if things weren't already bad enough.
でもアメリカの話じゃん。日本じゃ被害とか全然出てないんでしょ？
Clearly Akiho wasn't paying attention to the conversation.
そうだといいけどね。
But then again, hopefully nothing happens on the island. As soon as Subaru brought up the topic, the contents of a certain document filled my head. The Kimijima report. If I recall, it said the following. However, this is the truth. The sun is on the verge of producing several discharges. According to scientific evidence, there will be successive major solar storms that will occur in 2012, 2015, 2019, and 2020, all of which will severely affect the Earth and its magnetosphere. It's not cold, but I start subconsciously rubbing my arms. I have goosebumps. Yeah, Kaito is still fairly unsettled. It's possible that everything written in that report was the truth. A fact that you could have easily have confirmed just by talking with Irie, or Sister Centipede. Can I really laugh it off as a crazy conspiracy theory? Not anymore, I'd say. Irie said that Ko Kimijima was murdered by someone. Why did he leave that report behind? Well, he obviously wanted somebody who he could trust to find it. Somebody who knew that, or somebody that he knew who would be able to find the report's hiding place. And why was he murdered? That, Kaito Yashio, is the riddle of Ko Kimijima. Is it because everything in that file was true? And the Kimijima report I found isn't the only one on the island. Well, if we want to start putting these puzzle pieces together, we're going to have to go out and find them. Of course, as Kaito has already made clear, that is a complete hassle for him. In the rest of the hidden text files, there could be even more predictions and revelations. Or maybe even, yeah. Or besides. Wait, hold on, stop. Don't let yourself get dragged down into this dark spiral of conspiracy theories. Well, if it's all true, then that can hardly be counted under the appellation of theories now, would it? Talking of which... Suddenly, I hear a melody that I know all too well.
はい着信音変えたの
That's not our phone, and that's not our Pokecom. That is a melody that spells foreboding.
カゴメカゴメ
Yeah. Makes sense that Juno would know. That's right, Juno told me all about this. About a bunch of people in Tokyo getting messages similar to earthquake early warnings all at the same time. And the fact that we're hearing it now is a bad omen indeed. Juno and I immediately make eye contact. Yeah,
何これ
this is bad. I would say cover your ears,
僕の
but
ポケ
it's
コン
too
からもで
little.
す
Okay, so it is. So it is being broadcast over everyone's Pokecom devices.
あ私も
Hmm. Not even a super hacker could do this. Or maybe they could, but still, this is beyond what a super hacker would do. The melodies overlap, creating a dissonant sound. I feel like I'll get a headache if I listen to this for too long. And the poor sound quality makes it makes it all feel even creepier. The fact that it doesn't stop immediately points to it being a call and not a message.
うち着信音をカゴメカゴメにしたことなんて一度もないのに
そもそも自分のポケコンにこんな着信音が入っていること自体初めて知りましたよ
Someone has mad skills. I check my Pokecom and this display is similar to when there's a normal call coming in. In this case, however, the caller's number is hidden. As a test, I try answering the phone.
は
The sound. Yeah, we've heard it before. It's just like a fax machine's transmission noise. Yeah. Is she the one doing this? Or is this that certain organization that Ko Kimijima mentioned? I feel a chill running down my spine. My body is shivering. I can't speak for Juno and Subaru, but if this keeps going, I don't think things would end well for Kaito and Akiho. I can't take it anymore. I hung up.
あのー
Huh?
What the? Her timing is perfect. When did this woman get here? There's nothing around here, so you can see everything. Yet I didn't even notice her until she was right there. At long last, Kagome Kagome stops playing. There are no vehicles. If there were, we would have heard them. And I suppose you could have walked, but that's quite out of the way. And I mean, sure, we were distracted by the Pokecoms. One of us would have seen you. Yet you pretty much appeared from literally out of nowhere. The hangar returns to silence. Everyone stands still without saying a word. Nobody can wrap their head around what just happened over the last minute or so. Well, at least the noise didn't trigger an attack in Kaito and Akiho. For now, at least.
君たちって中央種子島高校のロボット研究部の皆さん？
The fact that you're asking in such a specifically topical manner makes you incredibly suspect.
そうですけど。
Why would you be looking for the Robotics Club specifically? Who is this person? Did someone from the media come by for an interview? I doubt it. Or...
マスターは殺されました。
Who killed him? Who indeed? Sorry about that, had to check something, but now we're back.
よかった。会えるかどうか不安だったんですよ。
Again, I ask, why? Why are you here? The woman smiles as she speaks. A single black van comes driving onto the airport apron. In situations like these, black unmarked vans, they mean trouble. It's approaching at high speed. It then comes to a stop behind the woman.
突然ですけど。
Yeah, gonna have to put the brakes right there because believe it or not, I don't trust you.
お話ししたいことがあるので一緒に来てもらいますね。
Yeah, definitely do not trust you. Complete and total distrust. Brawny looking men in black suits exit from the van, 5 of them. With so many confusing things happening in such a short amount of time, I don't even consider the option to flee. Before I realize it, I've been grabbed from behind with both arms twisted. Well, shit. I can tell I'd be in immense pain if I attempted to resist, so I stay put.
いや。
Akiho is grabbed by the arms of one of the men and forced into the van. Juno and Subaru as well. It hasn't even been 2 minutes since that woman showed up. Yet in that short amount of time, she's managed to abduct 4 high schoolers.
出してください。
I get pushed into one of the van's seats. I'm just as dumbfounded by this entire situation. All I can think about is Ko Kimijima's fate. Fear of being erased. My body's been trembling ever since Kagome Kagome started playing. Something tells me that she's not going to tell us who she is, or who she's working for. I desperately try to talk.
あんた何者なんだ
The woman, now sitting in the front passenger seat, turns around to face us.
私の名前は
She removes her sunglasses and flashes us a cheerful smile that really doesn't fit the situation.
天王寺前。
Hold on. Stop the fucking presses, hold on. Nai Tanoshi? I mean, sure, Kaito and the rest of the Robotics Club members have absolutely no idea who the fuck you are, but never thought I'd ever be reunited with you under these circumstances. It's been, let's see, 9 years? Give or take? What the hell is going on?
よろしくね。
Despite the smile on her face, her eyes aren't smiling in the least. I have a bad feeling about this. Phase 4, Stratospheric Alien Alternator, because it's the crystallization of our blood, sweat, and tears. And achievement unlocked for Stratosphere Alternator. I've been alive for 18 years. Looks like this is the end of that road. I'd never thought I'd experience being abducted by some shady group of people. Yet here I am. Oh. Sorry about that. Actually having it actually happen to me. And not just me, but Akiho and the other members of the club as well. I have to do something. But there's no way I can turn the situation around on my own. I know how trying to do that will turn out. I have a bad feeling about how this is going to go. I know I shouldn't say anything, but I want to. I really want to. Just to try and make sense of the situation. But for now, I'll hold my silence. Thus, all I can do is stay quiet in this shaking car. Nobody else says a word. After passing the time in silence, we finally arrive at our destination. It's... lecture hall?
どうなってるんだかな
I couldn't even begin to tell you, Kaito. And I mean that.
宇宙センターだよね。ここ。
Wait, this is JAXA? The windows of the van had a dark tint applied to them, but it was still possible to see outside. None of us had been blindfolded, and the men in black suits didn't warn us not to look around. Well, Well, I suppose it should be a good thing they didn't hold any of us at gunpoint. Which means there was nothing keeping us from watching the van enter TNSC and pull up in front of the Takesaki Observatory. We were then politely guided to a room on the 4th floor. No restraints. Did we just dream up the chaos from earlier? That was no dream. We were literally escorted without preamble by Nai Tanuchi herself and 5 people working with her, for her. 5 minutes have passed since we got here. Needless to say, this isn't an interrogation room, nor is it some creepy cell. It's just a regular old room. Heck, if anything, it's more like a press conference room. That's probably because it is. The press conference of the Space Center. After guiding us here, the men in black suits told us to wait for a little while and then left. In other words, it's just us 4 Robotics Club members sitting around. This situation is beyond bizarre. Subaru turns the handle on the door leading outside and it opens easily. An intense sea breeze comes blowing into the room, roughly swaying the hanging curtains. It sure is windy outside. An indication that we're clearly not being forced against our will. But we were definitely brought here for a reason. I wonder about that.
もう逃げる意味はないでしょう。少なくとも拷問を受けて殺されて海に沈められるなんていう最悪の可能性は消えたみたいだし。
Yeah. Strange as it is, yeah, this situation has just done a complete 180. If they wanted to kill us, they probably would have taken us deep in the woods where nobody would ever find us. There are places like that all over the island. Instead, they took us to the TNSC of all places. No restraints, so we're not locked in. So we're not prisoners. It's pretty clear they mean us no harm.
天王寺と名乗った女がここに着いた途端に姿を消したのが気になりますが。
So Nai isn't here. Yeah. Kind of surprising that she would return under these circumstances.
ねえみんな、うち今回みたいなケース前に見たことあるんだ。
Why's that, Akiho?
それでアキちゃん、前に見たことあるって何のことさ。
この状況ってロボットアニメでよくあるパターンだよ。頑張れるの17話もこんな感じだった。
Interesting comparison, however.
つまりうちらは地球を守るために正義のロボットを動かすチームに選ばれたってことで。
部長ってガキですね。本当にくだらない。
Says the guy whose passion is hobby robots.
こればっかりはスバル君に同意するよ。
何よ、本気で言ってるわけじゃないのに。場を和ませるための会心のギャグでしょ、ギャグ。
Lighten the mood, eh? Juna's been trembling like a newborn fawn the whole time, so it looks like Akiho's joke ended in utter failure. Suddenly the door to the room opens and in comes a dizzy-looking Frau. Yeah. I'm not surprised that they were able to get to her. Yeah. The people whom I are with are clearly professionals.
Oh.
Hail and well met.
フル氷
The men in black suits that were guiding Fraubo leave the room.
フラウボンも捕まっちゃったの？
Yeah, that they did. Surprisingly. Well, not
ありの
surprisingly.
まま今起こったことを話すで。
I'd rather you didn't.
私は近所のコンビニにポッキーを買いに出たと思ったら、ジャクさんにいた。
Okay, that was, okay, not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
何を言っているかわからねえと思うが、私も何をされたのかわからなかった。
No, we completely understand. One minute we were at the, old airport, the next we were here.
催眠術だとか超スピードとか、そんなチャチなものじゃ断じてねえ。
Okay, that's, going a little bit overboard there. But then again, this is Frau we're talking about.
コナちゃんも車に押し込められて拉致られたんでしょ？
大体合ってる。
Indeed. So the same as us. Yeah, obviously. Frau wasn't even at the hangar with us, which meant they must have business with the entire Robotics Club. Although there's no sign of Michi, who left only a short time before the abduction took place.
ちなみに、今の黒スーツのおっさんたちについて詳しく。
We don't have any deets right now.
黒スーツ、はあはあ、ネクタイをもぐもぐして味わいたい。あとグラサンのつるの部分をペロペロしたい。
Yeah, no. Time to ignore the perv.
TNSC ならさ、アキちゃんおじさんから何か聞いてないの？
Yeah, that is a good question. Why haven't we heard from?
よし、ちょっと電話してみる。
Yeah, let's. Despite the current situation, they didn't take our Pokegons. Just as Akiho's about to make the call.
Yeah.
There he is. Kenichiro. Your old man shows up right on time. I can't tell if he's trying to fool us with that smile of his or if he's just forcing one out. Either way, he looks oddly tense, aren't we all?
お父さん、これどういうこと？まさかお父さんの差し金なの？説明して。
I don't think he's the reason why we're here.
それについては私が説明します。
Hello again. Entering the room after Akiho's dad is Naita Nochi, the girl who was wearing sunglasses and who is now wearing a white shirt and a tie with a guest pass. That said, she's not wearing shades right now, so she looks kind of different. You're telling me she was but a tiny rodent the last time I saw her.
はい、皆さん着席。
ちょっと待った。その格好って。
ジャクサの職員の制服？ 改
Interesting.
めて自己紹介させてもらいますね。 JAXA 研究開発本部未踏技術研究センターの天王寺苗です。
The Unexplored Technology Research Center.
種子島には今日初めて来ました。いいところですね。
So you literally just started working here today. Whoa, whoa. What's with all the smiling? You literally almost committed a crime. How the normal reaction would be to call the cops on you.
皆さんにこうして集まってもらったのは、とある支援業務についてのご提案をさせてもらいたかったからです。
You know, you could have just asked politely
集まったん
beforehand.
じゃなくて拉致されてきたんですか？
支援業務、これはですね、種子島宇宙センターの瀬宮所長もすでに了承済みの話でして。
How bid he is.
聞いてない。
Yeah, you said it, Akiho. Akiho's old man wipes the sweat off of his cheek and weakly nods.
ただ天王寺君、あのやり方はまずかったよ。
Indeed, you could have.
まず彼らに謝るべきじゃないかな。
あ、そうですね。
You only just realized that? Naitonoji seems to have come to some sort of realization. She corrects her posture and bows deeply.
手荒い真似をして本当にごめんなさい。
Well, it's not as bad as I was thinking.
皆さんのことを狙っている大人たちは実は結構いまして。
Yeah, you know, we almost thought that you were one of them. Or I certainly did.
できるだけ早くこの話をお伝えして、ぜひとも私たちに協力してもらいたかったので。
It seems like there are others out there who are after Kaito and the rest of the Robotics Club.
私、学生時代にもお友達からよく暴走娘って呼ばれていて。 ついやりすぎちゃう癖があるみたいなんです。
Who cares about your nickname? More importantly, what do you mean by adults targeting us? Is this related to Ko Kimijima?
それでですね、支援業務について一言で説明しますと、マシタさん、あれ貸して、あれ。
Now you're starting to behave like the Naitonoji that I'm personally familiar with. Naitonoji suddenly calls to one of the staff members watching from a short distance away. The older man named Mashida wears a troubled expression on his face and hands the board over to Naitonoji.
はい、これです。じゃーん。
After building up a little bit of hype for herself, she turns the board toward us. Ladies and gentlemen, Akiho Sumio wins. She fucking called it. God damn it. Her joke is a reality. What the?
はい、JAXA と一緒に巨大ロボットを作ろうというわけで。
Well, I hope you're proud of yourself, Akiho. I hope you are proud. You should be. Your dream is about to come true. Looks like I'm not the only one flawed right now. Everyone in the club is stunned. Not to mention the poor handwriting and bad drawings make me feel excessively annoyed. But how was that terrifying experience we all endured 30 minutes ago? Everything feels so stupid now. I feel like I'm about to collapse out of frustration on the spot. Naitanoji's carefree way of speaking is only spurring on that sense of exhaustion.
あれよく聞き取れなかったかな
I know we heard you.
このボードを見てもらえばわかると思いますが JAXA と一緒に巨大ロボットを作りませんかということではいね
How very convenient. With JAXA, huh? Didn't Akiho just ask her dad about this about a month ago? And get rejected? Well, that's the thing about Naitanoji. Let's just say that, well, the Tenojis, they have connections. Serious connections.
正しくは革新ロボティクス技術研究支援業務っていうもっともらしいというか小難しい名称がついてるんですけど要するに巨大ロボットを研究開発している人たちにいろいろ援助をしたいなという話です。来年東京万博があるわけですが噂ではロボット万博という通称ですでに呼ばれているぐらいだとか
Well, Akiho, looks like fortune definitely is smiling down upon you. Prayers have been answered.
地上での二足歩行ロボ研究については門外漢だったりします宇宙ロボティクス研究については研究グループがあるんですけどねでもやっぱりロボット大国とまで言われた日本ですから二足歩行の巨大ロボットにもきちんと向き合うべきだろうとそんな感じで偉い人に軽く掛け合ってみました
Part of me is betting that Akiho will be over the moon about this, but as for the others, yeah, their jaws are probably pretty much stuck to the floor at this point.
そうしたら意外にも私みたいなド新人の意見が通りまして
Yeah, how very convenient.
ひとまず万博までの半年間ではありますが支援業務という形でやってみようと
Isn't it a little late for this? Like, yeah. You could have showed up sooner. I doubt they'll accomplish much with only half a year remaining until the expo.
今回の支援業務がうまくいけばですね将来的に正式なミッションとしての道が開かれるかもしれませんよ JAXA 製の巨大二足歩行ロボットだって夢じゃなくなるかもですその先行ミッション研究になれたらという思惑もあったりとはいえ今のところこの業務に関わっているのは調布では私だけですのであんまり期待はされていないみたいです
Chofu Aerospace Center, the head office of JAXA, located in Mitaka, Tokyo. The aerospace center serves as JAXA's major research and development base. and is home to JAXA's state-of-the-art aviation programs. It is located right next to Chofu Airport and features multiple wind tunnel laboratories. Also, feel free to chime in, other members of the Robotics Club, with
今の
questions.
笑うところですよ。
That wasn't really that humorous there, Nai. Just like when she introduced herself in the car, she's laughing, but her eyes aren't. No matter how big that smile of hers is, she's kind of scary.
正直なところ、半年じゃ大したことはできないだろうっていろんな人に言われました。でも期待されていないなら失敗するのを恐れる必要もないわけで。
That kind of sounds like Michi there for a second,
だ
Nai.
ったら好き放題やっちゃおうかなと。
Yeah, definitely sounds a bit too eerily much like Michi. If nothing else, she's got guts.
とはいえ支援と言っておきながら予算はとっても少ないです。スズメの涙です。ですから支援対象はどうしても一つに絞らなくちゃいけません。
So why us?
あちこちの研究機関に支援していたらすぐに予算が消えちゃいます。じゃあどこにするのかを考えていた時にですね、偶然ネット放送でロボアンをやっていたとこういうわけです。
So you saw that.
決勝戦、あの英雄ミスタープレアデスと皆さんは互角の戦いを繰り広げていましたね。
Subaru, don't curl up into a ball and smash your head against the ground. I beg of you. I glance over at Subaru to check his expression. Keep it together. Don't fall apart on me now. It looks like he's listening to her with a cold expression on his face, but actually he's sweating bullets.
ミスタープレアデスならここにいる。
Ixnay on the Aedes play.
部長、余計なこと言わないでください。
お、ごめん。
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
続けてください。
それで私あの試合を見ていて感動しちゃったんです。
Nightanuji's eyes get moist and she wriggles around. Never would have pegged you as being interested in robots. The more she talks, the more my impression of this woman changes for the worse. Believe me when I say that Nightanuji is the least of your problems right now, Kaito. Take my word for it.
残念ながら負けちゃいましたけど、本当に惜しかったですよね。あのままやってたら絶対うちらが勝ってました。
そういう家庭の話は無意味です。勝敗はついたんですから。
Settle down,
あと
please.
買い読み新聞のインタビューも読ませてもらいました。
What interview?
うちが受けたやつですね。
Yeah, that's right.
あきほちゃん、新聞のインタビュー受けたの？すごいね。 何日じゃなくて買い読みなんだよ。全国紙なの。
No, surprise,
声
surprise.
が出たくないって言うからしょうがなくうちが一人で受けたんだ。もっといろいろ語りたかったんだけどな。でも瀬宮さん、とても素敵な夢を語っていましたよね。そうですか？恥ずかしいな。
Oh, given the fact that Nai is pretty much telling you to make sure, telling you that your dream is about to come true there, Akiho. Oh boy. Akiho's starting to fall for Nai Tenoji's lip service.
本来はホビーロボじゃなくて全高10メートル以上ある巨大ロボットを作るのが夢なんだって。っていうか、もうすでに作っているって。はい、そうなんです。
The president has officially been buttered up to perfection. She's all ready for the oven. Even though she was trembling and about to cry mere minutes ago, along with everyone else.
そのインタビューを見てこれだと。
And that's all it took.
ぜひとも皆さんにお願いしたいって思ったんですよ。やっぱり皆さんは今が旬ですから。
もしかしてそんなミーハーな理由で選んだんですか？
皆さんのことは JAXA でも多少名の知られた存在だったということもあります。
Why doesn't that surprise me in the least?
うちが TNSC 所長の娘だからとか？
これまでにも JAXA からいらなくなったパーツとか譲ってもらってたからじゃない？
そっか、前からうちらって協力関係にあったんだった。
That we have. When Mizune founded the Robotics Research Association 9 years ago, she used her family connections to force JAXA's hand.
でも間に合ってよかった。
Naitanoji gestures like she's wiping sweat from her brow after a hard day's work.
ロボワンの準優勝者ともなれば、いろんな研究機関や企業が皆さんのことを狙っているはずですから。
Not really. Although we did manage to net ourselves a sponsor of a space candy manufacturer, but that's what we got, which is
日
actually
本
pretty
どころか
impressive.
世界中の技術者があの大会には注目しているんですよ。本当ですか？具体的にどの辺ですか？この1ヶ月、買い読み新聞以外どこからもオファー来ませんでしたけど。
単なるお世辞でしょ。
そんなことないですよ。私の目に狂いはありません。
Yeah, hate to burst your bubble there, Nai, but Kaito's correct. There's been no outside offers to finance the Robotics Club.
とにかくそんなわけで皆さんとの協力関係を一番乗りで築きたかったんです。
具体的にはどう支援をしてもらえるんです？
最初に言った通り、来年の万博への出展が目標です。 JAXA からは開発費を提供します。少ないですが。
We'll tie that in with Sumio sponsorship money and we might get somewhere.
あと、未踏技術研究センターには宇宙ロボティクス研究グループという部門があります。
Space Robotics Research Group.
そこに所属する技術者と技術交流ができたりするかもです。年長者の立場からアドバイスなどできたらなぁと。
Well, if nothing else, progress of Gunbelt 1 should shoot up even more exponentially than it already has.
それからロボットを建造する際にこの TNSC の施設を使っていただいて結構です。
Indeed.
一つ大事なことが、完成したロボットの説明には JAXA が協力しているという説明を入れてください。
It was more taking scrap parts than anything else. Doesn't that basically mean there are literally no downsides to accepting this deal? Yeah, aside from the fact that Nai clearly said that there are other people out there who are trying to hunt us down. Is that really everything? This sounds way too good to be true.
技術やアイデアだけ持っていかれて手柄は JAXA が独り占めなんてことはないんですか？
先輩、それはうがった見方すぎですよ。
そうだよ。そんなことするならうちはお父さんと親子の縁切るし。
僕？
いやだって条件良すぎると思ってさ。
Yeah, there has to be a caveat.
なんか裏があるんじゃないかって思っちゃうんだよね。何しろこっちは拉致られた身なんで。
警戒させちゃってますか？
Yeah.
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。
Yeah, there's a reason people tend to get nervous by bulky men in black suits. Naitanuji, looking ashamed, bows her head to us again.
これはもう信じてくださいって言うしかないです。でも完成したロボットの評価が高ければ将来 JAXA 製巨大ロボットの製作を皆さんに依頼するかもしれませんよ。
This woman is really fixated on JAXA making giant robots. Does she really just want to make one? Who knows if that's not all just an illusion of hers.
悪の軍団をバッタバッタとなぎ倒していく正義の JAXA ロボ、どうですか？
Yeah, really appealing to Akiho here, aren't you, Nai?
それじゃあ兵器じゃないか。そんなコンセプトは認められないよ。
いや、冗談です。
Yeah, we lost her. Akiho's eyes have started glittering. He's been consumed by delusions.
そういう考え方好きです。
Yeah, looks like you two are going to get along just fine.
本当？ありがとう。
Uh-oh, they're hitting it off.
どっちにしろ万博にはもともと出るつもりでした。
あ、そうなんですか？だったらお互いに好都合ですね。
でも資金はそんなにたくさんいらないかも。スポンサーがついているんです。必要なパーツはほぼ揃っていて、あとは組み立てるだけだったりするんですよ。
わあ、そこまで進んでいるんですね。すごいです。
Yeah, and to think not too long ago the entire project was about to be shut down.
もちろん皆さんのロボットは万博に出てくる他の一般企業のロボットと比べれば見劣りしてしまうかもしれません。
Oh, with your help we can do something about that. Naitanuji just casually drops an insult on us, forgetting the fact that Subaru pretty much, well actually, Kaito wasn't there when Subaru was offering Akiho his own proposals.
ですが、そこはアイディアで勝負みたいな感じですか？一般企業と同じ方法で開発してもそれはあまり意味がないですもんね。それより 将来の巨大ロボット開発や宇宙開発に取り入れられるような面白いアイデアを重視したいなって個人的には思っているんです。
アイデアは
Yeah, now you were doing great there, Nai, and now you're starting to lose, Akiho. Akiho's eyes are wandering. She probably doesn't have any ideas in particular. She just wanted to build a robot inspired by gun barrel. That's it. The only plan for that chunk of hollowed out steel is to make it walk. I guess this isn't a bad proposal. It's up to Akiho to decide whether or not to accept though. Sorry about that. Alright, let's keep going. Subaru is participating in the Robotics Club in secret from his old man. From his old man, so he can't openly voice his opinion. All of this is probably going right over Junior's head, who... yeah. I really hope she's, okay after what just happened. And Frau and I have no interest in giant robots. Actually, Frau is slovenly lying forward on a desk fiddling with her Pokemon. She's been paying no attention. Obviously.
じゃあ皆さんが今作っている巨大ロボ見せてもらっちゃおうかな。いいですか？もちろんです。
Sure. Why
俺たち
not?
がいたハンガーに置いてあったのに。
あ、そうだったんですね。気がつきませんでした。
It was, kind of hard to miss there, Nai.
データならうちのポケコンに入ってるよ。
Akiho pulls up the blueprints and photos she took and happily shows them to Naitanoji on her Pokégon screen.
これがうちらロボ部が今開発中の巨大ロボ頑張れる試作1号機、通称ガンツク1です。
Naitanoji's eyes are glued to the monitor. But she soon starts to look puzzled.
はあ、ふむふむ。あ、これは動くんですか？もちろんです。歩行させます。
That's, yeah, that's a bit of a white lie there from Akiho, since we haven't actually assembled it.
させる予定です。
Yeah, kind of letting yourself get carried away there, Akiho. Actually, didn't Subaru mention repeatedly that it wouldn't walk? Did that issue ever get solved? Well, with the parts we now have, we might be able to see whether or not they can actually function. The man in question is completely silent. Well, he's not saying anything in particular.
足が動くということですね。足以外はどうですか？
足以外は動く予定はないです。その必要がなかったので。
Yeah, our main order of business was just to make sure that Gunboat 1 could actually stand and move. And we haven't even gotten to that stage yet, so we've still got a long way to go.
なるほど。ふむふむ。
Naitanuji goes silent in thought for a moment, then speaks to Sunomiya's dad.
佐野宮所長、これって歩けると思います？
Those plans were designed by Masaki and of course altered by Akiho, so
いやどうでしょう。
yeah, that's a very roundabout way of saying you don't know. He looks like he's at his wit's end. He keeps wiping his sweat from his brow over and over. Is he trying to appeal to his daughter? He's still very uncomfortable about all this. If that's the case, he's not really doing a good job. At the end of the day, sometimes you just have to be brutally honest about this kind of thing. Man, how weak is this dude when it comes to his daughter?
歩くよね、お父さん。
どっちです？
We need an answer, Kenichiro.
歩けませんよ。
And Subaru finally breaking the silence. Subaru finally makes his move.
スバル、余計なこと言っちゃダメ。
でも事実ですか。
歩けないんですか？
Not in its current state, and probably not with the additions that Akiho has made.
歩こうとしたらつま先が引っかかって転倒するのがオチです。
転倒、それは危険かも。
そこは解決策としてつま先に車輪を装着することで回避しようかななんて思ってたところです。
Wheels would only make things worse, although I like your save there with just an idea. Naitonoji thinks to herself again before slamming her fist into her palm like she's got an idea. She looks up.
例えばこういうのはどうでしょう？作りかけの1号機についてはひとまず開発を凍結してもらって、また新しく万博出展用にもう少し見栄えのいい巨大ロボを作るというのは。
また新しく。
This proposal makes the most sense. As of course evidenced by Subaru. Subaru's been saying the same thing for a while now. And if JAXA provides support, our financial issues would finally be over. Given the fact that the current gun build one is pretty much built from scrap, if you could actually build a version that is doesn't really have any of the issues of the current model, then maybe things might work. But then again, Akiho is attached to the classic version of Gunbuild 1. We could build something pretty decent if we start from scratch. Once again, we only have six months to do that. However, to Akiho, this proposal composed of cold hard reality might as well have been a slap in the face. It means that the robot she's currently building won't qualify for the expo. She'd end up a laughingstock. In other words, it's a complete rejection of the robot that Akiho spent so much time on for so long. I'm an amateur at robot construction, but even I can tell after listening to Subaru and Akiho battle it out. He's right and she isn't. But that's not the biggest problem here. The biggest problem is that the Robotics Club president, the one who holds the right to decide what direction the club will take, is...
だったらこの話はなかったことにしてください。え？
Akiho Sumio and Akiho Sumio alone. Her dream is to complete the Gunbuild 1 that Mizune designed. The gun barrel prototype Model 1, that's the product of the other members' 9 years of hard work. There's no logical reason behind this, just pure emotion. That's why this proposal will never work. So once again, the gears grind to a halt.
うちが完成させたいのはガンツク1なんです。それ以外のロボットを作るつもりはありません。瀬宮さん。ごめんなさい。
So it's come to this. Akiho bows slightly and walks out of the room. Frau, seemingly waiting for this moment, stumbles after Akiho while still hanging her head low. Juno's bewildered and looks toward me for my reaction. Subaru also looks at me like he wants me to do something. I don't have any reason to try and persuade Akiho one way or the other. My only obligation is to give her a light push on the back when she's stuck in place. Other than that, oh yeah, we pretty much all know what Kaito's shtick is by now. I'm going to start getting KB withdrawal soon, so I decide to go home as well. Yeah. It's why you two are such great friends, Kaito. Despite the fact that you criticize her for her single-minded stubbornness, you have that same characteristic. The wind outside is strong. It's definitely more than just a sea breeze. The clouds are starting to look a bit ominous too. Yeah, those have some very ominous looking clouds.
Action!
I chase after Akiho and call out to her.
どうやって帰る？
バスかな。
Do any buses come by here?
デュー、1時間に1本しか走ってないとかありえない。
Apparently they do.
待ってよ。
And Juna's still terrified out of her wits. Juna comes chasing after us, looking ready to cry. Behind her follows a silent Subaru. I look towards the Takesaki Observatory and notice Naitanoji watching us from the observation deck. Well, she made her pitch, such as it was, and Akiho has rejected that pitch. We turn our backs to her and head to the bus stop. Well, it was a good offer. Negotiations with JAXA ended in failure, in spite of everything that has happened. Crazy as it was. TNSC. Kenichiro Sumio. Yeah, this has not gone down well. Not at all. But Kenichiro's musings can wait. So when we return, how will Naitanoji salvage this situation? As always, until next we meet.